I also want to get you a better, closer view. This is my excuse. I want to get a closer view of the city. So we're coming in on the city itself.
Right.
You can get, again, a sense of the scale.
Yeah.
We aren't even near it yet.
Yeah.
So let's get in there, and I feel like I need to grind a little bit more.
You can see, though, that there's less enemies wandering around now that it's nighttime.
I really ought to grind a little more before I get into this. I'm a little nervous here, Ethan.
Oh, you'll be fine. You're going to be, hey,
we're
going to be okay.
We're about 50-50.
Yeah.
We're about 50-50 on this boss battle.
Oh, you're going for it.
I'm going for it.
Okay, here we go.
We've been 50-50 on this, so let's see which way the coin falls on this.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so she's saying it looks a lot bigger up close. Lots of people have moved in, made it home.
Now there's some good tension on this scene, so I'm not going to jump out of this.
So this is the west gate of the city. Right now it's closed up for safety. And so in order to get in, you're going to have to take an elevator rather than just go through the main gate. Uh-oh.
Although before I get to that elevator, I'm going to have this guy and a couple of his friends to contend with.
She's surprised to see aggressive enemies like this so close to the city.
Because there is, in fact,
LA?
Yeah,
What was it called? Yeah.
Neo LA. We're on our way to Neo LA. I'm a little surprised to see these guys so close to the city too, because again, there's a military installation not more than a couple hundred feet from me right now. But I think they want to make sure I'm
You're worthy.
Okay. So I'm going to remind you up front.
Run away.
You see down at the bottom it says hit the plus button to do battle menu. So if you bring up the battle menu on the right there, there's going to have a lot of options that you can give orders to your NPCs. And I believe the second one from the top is basically focus fire. So your NPCs will make sure to attack the enemy that you're attacking.
Okay, we took down one of them.
Yeah.
We're feeling pretty good. What are you doing?
Did you have her focus fire?
I'm going to need you to point me to that.
So bring up the battle menu.
All right,
second from the top.
This is bad. I can't. Okay, second from the top.
You got it.
You're asking me to do a lot here.
Yeah.
All right, focus fire.
Okay.
We got it.
So that'll just ensure that she's going to attack your target.
Okay, so we're going to take this guy out. Get a little hit point boost right there. Took him out. Oh, that was faster.
They get a lot faster once you've completed a few of them. And you can see what that's doing each time you complete one of those, raising that soul stage.
I'm having some trouble with those later ones.
And the soul stage is going to, the higher it is, it's going to give you more bonuses during the battle. And the reason they get more difficult to complete is that soul stage meter is going to go down over time, so you can't just keep raising it up.
All right, so we
took
took that
over.
out.
Nicely
Rich,
done.
I made pretty good work of that. Yeah,
that's the quickest I've seen you do that.
Yeah,
that is.
Nice work.
I like the way you got the Borealis effect going on up there.
Nice.
So she thought that they landed in a relatively safe area, but you know, for every friendly race that there is in space, there's bound to be some ones that are more hostile as well.
I love the feel of this game. It's very much like not only do you discover that you're not alone out in space, but you also discover that whatever's out there doesn't really care about you.
Oh yeah,
and doesn't really care for you.
Yeah, space doesn't care.
So now we're getting a good opportunity to take a look out over.
Space is not your friend.
No, space is not your friend.
Take a look out over Neo Los Angeles from the outside.
More items. And
we're going to see if we can get up that elevator to give you a deeper view of what Neo Los Angeles looks like.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
It's sort of an extensive cutscene that's going to give you a flavor for what you're looking at inside this first hub, your hub town, basically. So that's the west gate up ahead of us. But as Elmo was telling us, the gate is sealed right now, and you see our military installation right here, keeping guard just over the gate and not over us as we approach the gate.
Right.
I really could have used their help a minute ago, but that's...
I think she's kind of given some word up ahead that you're coming in, bringing in some survivors.
Sense of scale again. Just take a quick look around.
It really is pretty impressive when you get up close.
Yeah, and I'm going to go up here.
And you can jump around on all that stuff. Like, you know, if you're somebody who loves to explore and kind of see if it's possible to go places, a lot of times games won't let you do that. You know, you'll run up against an invisible wall that prevents you from going places. But that's really, as far as I've been able to tell, that's really not the case in this.
There we go. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time just exploring this opening area.
Yeah.
Long before I even get to that boss battle.
Yeah.
One thing I love about this elevator here is it gives me an opportunity to show you how far off you can see.
Right, it's another vantage point. Like, I think we came from
poorly timed, but the weather pattern, you know, we don't control the weather here. Right. But you do get an opportunity to look out over a bit of the space out there.
Yep. There's that guy that we visited earlier.
Yeah, the guy who's
nice guy.
Actually, he's a little bit closer than the other one. There's
you're right.
There's a lake down there that you would be able to see across if it just hadn't started raining on us.
I'm not totally sure what the deal is with these sort of crystal spikes that seem to have sprung up where the ship landed. I don't know if that's something that's going to be explained later in the game, but it's definitely intriguing.
Now, we did talk a little bit about the class system. Before I go through that gate and kick into this cutscene, I do want to show off some of the class system here.
Yeah.
Let's see, character, class.
Yeah, that's it.
You'll be able to change through any number of classes. Each character has a class set that they can cycle through.
Right.
We're right here at the opening class at Drifter, and then I'll be able to specialize into a couple of different classes. Class names aren't final, of course, but it gives you a sense of what their function is going to be within the game. And then that also shows you a little bit of what their arts palette is.
Right.
And you'll
the
be able
type
to
of arts you're going to earn.
Yeah,
right?
as you get deep, as you level up, you get more of those arts.
Yeah.
And then you can specialize even more. Now, one different thing about Xenoblade Chronicles X is that you can change classes on the fly even mid-battle.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if there's an arts palette set that you want to have access to that you don't have access to right now, you can change classes out and jump from a defensive attacker to a heavier attacker. If there's something that you find yourself needing desperately, you'll be able to switch classes on the fly, jump straight out into a different class and use those abilities.
Yep. And if I'm understanding everything correctly, and you know, it's a pretty complicated game with all the things you can do. If I'm understanding correctly, though, you can, once you've earned those arts for each class, you can then, you know, mix and match, right? And kind of build your own
really
class.
Specialize your character to suit your own gameplay style. My cowardly base attack entirely dependent on striking enemies when they're unawares, or perhaps feeding on, you know, grains and fauna.
You do love to get the enemies that seem to be the most peaceful.
Yeah, the flora rather, but yeah. So we're walking out into Neo Los Angeles for the first time.
Oddly enough, here we are in real Los Angeles.
We are
in old Los Angeles,
Los Angeles,
which just looks so dingy now that we got our first glimpse of Neo Los Angeles. Old Los Angeles just doesn't compare.
I know, it just doesn't measure up anymore.
Yeah. I'm sorry, LA. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to apologize for insulting Los Angeles online, aren't I?
It's okay.
I love it so much, though. So here we got a view out over Neo Los Angeles. It's going to come up as soon as Elma finishes.
Yeah, she's just, you know, kind of explaining about the city. And, you know, it was kind of a model city to begin with, but it's become, you know, a real living place that they have to use. So welcome to New Los Angeles, Rich.
Now we're going to end this demo here on a flyover of Neo Los Angeles, where you get a chance to check out this entire explorable area. It's already vast. Just all on its own, this is a gigantic space that you can wander freely throughout. As we mentioned, it's a hub town. You get quests here. You see your first giant mech here. These are going to become an integral component of gameplay much later on, of course.
Your first cat as well.
Yeah. But you also see some really interesting, more mundane things. Just these are the survivors trying to live on this alien world.
Yep. So she's talking about the fact that, you know, this is really mankind's last hope, and it sounds like they've been here for a couple of months before you have come on the scene.
Yeah, before you get thawed.
Explaining that while it's still sort of a work in progress, they've really hardened up their desire to make this home for, you know, the future.
And here we go, one big flyby, and
big swoop.
there you go.
Wow. That's awesome.
Neo Los Angeles in all its glory.
Well,